All right, let's talk a little bit about the Pythagorean identities. So we've already talked about one Pythagorean identity. And before I get too far along, I'm just going to remind you of the notation, right? So we can either put the parentheses and put the squared, or we can set the squared inside. So we can write our notation either way. I'm going to use the first one just because it's handy in calculus. Okay, I want to derive two other Pythagorean identities. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to remind you that from the one we already know, we have two choices. We can subtract cosine of theta squared, and that gave us the one sine of theta squared equals 1 minus cosine of theta squared. Or we can subtract sine of theta squared, and that gives me my identity that says cosine of theta squared is equal to 1 minus sine of theta squared. All right, so let's go over the first one, and it's the one that involves tangent and secant because they have cosine in the denominator. So I've written down the identity for you, and it tells me first to divide both sides by cosine of theta. So let's take a moment and do that. So we have sine of theta squared plus cosine of theta squared all over cosine of theta squared is equal to 1 over cosine of theta quantity squared. Now it says to separate it into two fractions. So I get sine of theta squared over cosine of theta squared is plus cosine of theta squared over cosine of theta squared is equal to 1 over cosine of theta squared. And now it's giving me some rules, right? So tangent, this is just tangent squared, right? That's what that's saying. Plus, we have cosine over cosine, this is the number 1, equals, and then we'll use blue here, 1 over cosine, this here, this is going to be secant of theta squared. So we get our new Pythagorean identity. This is the one from dividing by sine or cosine that says tangent of theta squared plus 1 equals secant of theta squared. So now you need to do the next one. This one involved tangent and secant. So we want the ones now that have sine in the denominator. So that's going to be cotangent and cosecant. All right, so hit pause and go ahead and do this one. All right, now that you're back, okay, we're going to go over how to use them. If you'd like, you can hit pause and do number 1 and do number 2, or you can watch me do number 3 and then come back and do those. So you can decide in 1 and 2. I've kind of coached you along, okay? I'm going to go through ahead and do number 3 where there is no coaching. So it's given you secant. It's told you the quadrant. So secant is this, and it's in quadrant 3. It asked me to give the value of all 6 trigonometric functions. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to start off with a table. I did that in the other ones. Sine of theta equals, cosine of theta equals, tangent of theta equals, and then I'm going to come over here, cotangent of theta, secant of theta, cosecant of theta. Part of why I like to do this is I have them now in their reciprocal pairs. So by putting them in their reciprocal pairs, that makes it nice because then I know one, which is secant, which is negative 15, and I know another. Before I get into all that, though, I really want to go over, and I'm going to change my color here, the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, what do I know? I know tangent's positive in that quadrant and cotangent's also positive because that is negative x, negative y. Sine is going to be negative, which means cosecant will be negative. Cosine is going to be negative, which means secant is going to be negative. Now it told me secant. Yep, 13 over 5. So right away, I can use reciprocals, and I know cosine. Cosine is negative 5 over 13. Now, from here, you have a lot of choices. I would like to use one of my new identities, so I'm going to use the one that says tangent of theta squared plus 1 is equal to secant of t or theta squared. Okay, they put t. I like to use theta, so I always just end up with theta. Tangent of theta squared. Oops, that's terrible handwriting there. Plus 1 is equal to negative 13/5 squared. So I get that tangent of theta squared is equal to 169 over 25 minus 1, which is 144 over 25. So I did the squaring, and then I subtracted the 1 to the other side, right? Okay, and that's how I got my math there. So then we have tangent of theta is equal to plus or minus the square root of 144 over 25, which is plus or minus 12 over 5. What's nice for us is we already put the plus here, so we know what it is, 12 over 5. And then we can do his reciprocal friend cotangent right away, 5 over 12. Look at us. We're just cruising. Now, from here, you have, again, lots of choices, right? You know sine. You could use a Pythagorean identity. I'm sorry. You know cosine. You could use a Pythagorean identity to get sine. You could use the fact that sine over cosine is tangent to get sine. I'm going to use my other Pythagorean identity just because I like using them because I now know them. And this one's a fun one because I know cotangent. So this one says cotangent of theta squared plus 1 is equal to cosecant of theta squared. Well, what is cotangent? It's 5 over 12. So I use my calculator. That's 25 over 144 plus 1. 169 over 144. Take the square root. Don't forget that plus or minus. And I get plus or minus 13/12. So again, remember we put the minus here for ourselves. We already know it's 13 over 12 and it's negative, which means for sine, it's going to be negative 12 over 13. All right, that's my little bit about that. We'll come back in a little bit and do proof.